And if your needs fixing, call Mr. Hickson.
'Tis the season to put a smile on a child's face.
It's the Marine Corps Toys for Tots Drive, and News 12 is proud to be an official drop-off location.
Drop off a new unwrapped toy at our studios during normal business hours.
Make a child's holiday brighter with News 12 and Toys for Tots.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
It's scary. It's just something we wasn't expecting, and it's happening all the time.
That's what Richmond County's coroner has to say as we are seeing a big spike in pedestrian deaths.
This year's deaths are double what they were last year, and this year isn't even over yet. In October, 4 pedestrians were killed across the county in just a 2-week time span.
And most recently, a woman was hit and killed by a vehicle on Gordon Highway just last week.
Our Sydney Hood is live in the newsroom for us. And Sydney, walk us through what the coroner is seeing with this uptick in pedestrian cases.
He says it's alarming the amount of pedestrian deaths he's investigated this year. I have reports from the coroner right here, and this is from last year where we had 8 pedestrian deaths. And then this stack right here is from this year. We had 19 pedestrian deaths this year, and like you said, the year's not over with yet. So a high volume of cases here, and the number seems to keep rising. A sad situation that impacts everyone involved, from the pedestrian, their families, to the driver. But even the coroner was surprised. The numbers had jumped so high, a 237% increase in pedestrian deaths year to year.
There's no way to figure out what's happening here. When I looked at the numbers, I did not realize they were as high as they were. I mean, I knew they were high, but it's just, 19's a lot for the year, considering we only had 8 last year. That's very alarming.
And something else we uncovered here is a good majority of these accidents are happening in one zip code. We're talking nearly 60% just in one zip code, mainly in the South Augusta area alongside busy roads like Peach Orchard, Deans Bridge, and Gordon Highway, roads most of us drive every single day. Coming up on you tonight on News 12 at 6 o'clock, how each case is handled and how these accidents also impact the job of the ones actually doing the investigation.
All right, thank you, Sydney. I mean, 1 is too many, but to have a 237% increase in just a year, that's a lot.
And as we enter the holiday season as well, a lot of those families without a loved one for the first time, 19 pedestrian deaths is a lot.
And a lot of drivers carrying the weight of that, drivers in some instances, and it wasn't even their fault.
Yeah, thanks for keeping us updated on that, Sydney.
Fairly seasonal weather right now, but we'll have a look at some rain moving in for the weekend in just about 10 minutes.
Thanks, Riley. Tonight, we're seeing continued support for a Greenbrier High School teen who was severely hurt in a car accident this fall. 15-year-old Allison Lilly suffered severe brain damage after a crash near the high school in August. She was on a ventilator for weeks, and in the wake of that accident, we saw the community really come together to form Allison's Race and raise money for her family and her medical bills. Well, now tonight, Allison's remarkable recovery continues. At 6:30, she will perform at her own benefit concert. Allison's piano teacher hosts a piano recital each year, and she's using it as an opportunity to help raise money for Allison's Race.
She took a little break from lessons because of the accident that she was in the end of August. But since in the last month, she started taking piano lessons back again, and she has worked so hard to get herself where she can play in tonight's recital. So we're so very, very excited.
And the recital will be at Hardin Auditorium in Evans. Our Audrey Dickherber will be there, and she'll show us how it went tonight on News 12 at 11 o'clock.
With the temperature getting chilly, Georgia cotton farmers are stepping up to help those in need. Thanks to the Georgia Cotton Commission, local cotton farmers are donating 1,500 pairs of socks. They say it's because something often gets taken for granted until you really need them and you don't have them.
Well, we know how important it is to have the basic needs, and lots of times we take for granted that we have those, and we want to make sure that everyone has what they need this holiday season.
The socks went to the CSRA Economic Opportunity Authority in Augusta. Statewide, more than 20,000 pairs of cotton socks are going to those who need them.
big congratulations to the newest graduating class at Augusta University. Today, more than 350 undergrads finished their education and got their degrees at the Augusta Marriott Center. What you just heard there at the beginning was the Arsenal Bell. It's rung 3 times at the beginning of each commencement ceremony. It's a tradition that dates back to the 1950s. In addition to these undergrads, 590 graduate students are getting their degrees as well. So again, a big congrats to them.
Yeah, what an early Christmas present. Hard work pays off, doesn't it? A battle of wants versus your wallet.
Our State House reporter Abby Kasoris uncovers solutions to help you budget for holiday spending.
Among other Christmas traditions,
eating a lot of food and sleeping in. Yeah.
Georgia Gafford is one of 222 million Americans planning on buying gifts during the holidays.
Probably a few thousand, I don't know.
A NerdWallet study found the average shopper expects to spend over $800. Most shoppers will charge their purchases to a credit card. Last year, more than half of Americans incurred debt holiday shopping, and a third are still paying off gifts from last year. No matter how much you plan to spend, the average credit card interest rate is over 22%. That means for every $1,000 in credit card debt that you take on, you'll have to pay $200 a year to pay it back.
We've never seen interest rates be this high.
Emory University accounting professor Suha Sitaran suggests making a plan before you shop. Assess your spending ahead of time. Create a debt plan prioritizing paying off cards with a higher interest rate, and consider cutting back on unneeded subscriptions to help you save.
Be creative with how you think about holiday gifts, right? Experiences, time together. Those are the things that I think are the real spirit of the holidays.
As the holidays creep closer, Sitaran says it's important to stick to your budget during the busiest spending season of the year. In DeKalb County, I'm Abby Kasoris.
A Georgia family sharing a warming story after they lost everything in a storage unit burglary. They say they had stored roughly $50,000 worth of their personal belongings in a unit in Jonesboro while they were moving. Well, despite having a good lock, they say a thief broke in, stole priceless personal items, including the only videotape of the dance between Natasha Turner and her mother.
I would never get that back. That was the last tape, the last performance we've seen of my mother before she passed away.
That's priceless. They're warning you to check your insurance when using a storage unit because while renters' insurance policies may cover storage, they usually only cover up to 10% for out-of-home storage. If you plan to put valuables in a unit, they suggest getting an additional policy. The family is doing everything they can tonight to get their valuables back and hopefully that priceless videotape.
But whether you love it or you hate it, you can't have a Christmas without you can't have a Christmas with unwrapped gifts. I feel like I'm being called out here because I'm really bad at that. I don't wrap my gifts very well, but the newspaper will do fine.
I'll help you.
Just ahead, a local group who's helping make that process a little easier. I need to go pay a visit to them, Riley.
Hey, wrapping is hard, Will, and I struggle with it as well. But heading into the weekend, we do have a first alert in effect Sunday, heavy rain and some wind impacts. We'll have a look at that coming up just after the break.
Time and Temp, brought to you by Jamie Casino Injury Alert today.
Watch WRDW News at 5:30 weekdays for What the Tech. Sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School, leading the CSRA in STEM education.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Hey, Chip, what's the matter?
Man, this is name change is stressing me out.
Everyone will know we still specialize in Medicare.
Yeah, I know that. What about this?
Are you 64.com?
All right, here we go. First alert. Once we get past Sunday, we are back to dry weather Monday morning and staying cooler than average most of next week.
All right, thanks, Riley. Love it or hate it, it's a season of wrapping gifts. And for some of us, it's tedious, but for others, disabilities can make the process much more difficult.
Our Taylor Martin shows us a group out of Aiken who's making this process easier for everybody, and it's all for a good cause.
For many people, it's the same story every year. You've got multiple gifts piling up and no idea how you'll get them all wrapped in time for Christmas. Thanks to volunteers here at the Tri Development Center gift wrapping store, you can get those gifts wrapped all for a good cause. Operation TDC Christmas has been putting smiles on faces for more than 15 years.
Make people happy.
In a room full of wrapping paper, bows, tape, and stacks of gifts, a simple process takes place. You bring your gifts and volunteers wrap them for free.
It feels good to be able to take a burden of relief off of people. A lot of people say I hate rapping, so I'm glad y'all are here to do this.
And with a donation,
the presents that you see are going to the individuals, adults with special needs and disabilities that we serve at Tri Development Center of Aiken.
It's gift wrapping with a purpose.
So as a mother of a child with special needs, it is very heartwarming and heartfelt to receive something, to know that somebody took the time to go and get a gift, just to take a little time off my shoulders and a little stress financially.
For volunteers and employees with the Tri Development Center, it's their way of giving back to Aiken. And if you stop by, you can too.
It's going to a great cause and benefiting people who, again, without our support, our efforts, and everything we do, will wake up on Christmas morning and have little to nothing to look forward to.
You can drop your unwrapped gifts off for free at 251 Lawrence Street, and for a small donation, you can help gift gifts to adults with disabilities across the city of Aiken. Reporting in Aiken, Taylor Martin, on your side.
Looks like Taylor's got that gift wrapping down pat. The gift wrapping store is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. You have until Saturday the 23rd to stop by and get your gifts wrapped.
Is there anyone harder to buy for than a teenager? I'm Jamie Tucker. Before you run out and buy some gift cards, I've rounded up some gift ideas for teens and young adults to make them say cool, or whatever kids are saying these days.
First Alert Radar.
It's all nuts.
If you have a teenager or 20-something on your holiday shopping list, you might be struggling to find something to get them.
We'll help you out here.
Thanks.
Our consumer tech reporter, Jamie Tucker, is rounding up a few gadgets they will not roll their eyes at.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
Teenagers and young adults don't have to be hard to buy for. You can scroll TikTok to see what's trending, or you can check out these tech gadgets.
Believe it or not, kids have discovered old tech their parents use. Vinyl records and turntables are red hot, and most would love to get their hands on some records and something to play them. Audio-Technica turntables are a fine choice. They're well respected by audiophiles. Others, like the Stir It Up turntable by Marley, have their own preamp and can stream music to wireless speakers. They look pretty classy, too. You can find vinyl records at bookstores and most retailers, but let me suggest shopping at your nearest independent record store. Pick up something new and something vintage. Even if they have a Bluetooth speaker, they'll probably love another one for a different location. The Bose portable speaker is waterproof, small enough to take anywhere or everywhere. And the Soundcore Rave Party 2 is a party speaker, loud with great bass and lights that jump to the beat. And if they want to jazz up their room or gaming area, check out the Nanoleaf and GoV light panels and lines. They're bright, can be arranged in different ways, and set to different colors. And yes, they also change to the beat of the music. If they're on TikTok, I can guarantee they've seen these lights.
And best of all of these gadgets are usually on sale during the holidays. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
Okay, I hope my kid wasn't watching. On Tuesday, the Greenbrier Wolfpack became the first team in the CSRA to ever win a state championship in girls flag football.
News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth and Nick Proto caught up with head coach Daniel Jordan to dive into their historic championship victory.
With less than 3 minutes to go in the state championship game, Greenbrier and Lithia Springs were tied at 6 points apiece when Maggie Pangle, who dealt with an ankle injury for most of the game, came up big by catching what would be the game-winning touchdown. Between the welcome home celebration at the school after driving back from Atlanta and the continuing outreach on social media, this team has felt the full support from their community in more ways than one. It's only been a couple of days since they won the state title, and when speaking with head coach Daniel Jordan, he told us a really cool story about a run-in he had with a little girl at church.
She said, "Hey, you're the flag football coach for Greenbrier?" And I said, "Yeah, that's me." And she said, "You know Maggie Pangle?" And I said, I did. I just talked to Maggie Pangle. And she said, "Will you please tell her?" I said, "Hey, it was just like, man, that is cool. Like, here's this little girl who is making a hero out of Maggie, and she absolutely deserves to be a hero. You know, thinking about having an impact on younger generations like that, that's pretty neat.
The energy, the passion that this team has shown all season long, especially when it mattered most at the Benz, will undoubtedly help the sport grow. You can watch our full 30-minute interview with Coach Jordan and find all of our Under the Lights championship coverage on our website, wrdw.com.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. We are looking at sunshine for our Friday, cloudy skies Saturday, then giving way to a lot of heavy rain on Sunday. Now look at that 7-day forecast just after a quick break.
Shanty can fix your...
Okay, forget the sleigh. Santa Claus made a very special visit to the Medical University of South Carolina in a helicopter.
Hey, after touching down at the helipad, he visited the kids staying at the hospital, making sure that they knew, even without a chimney, that he'd be there for Christmas Eve.
When the kids come, this is all about the kids. I focus on them, and I focus on what they want and what they see, and I try to respond to them.
Hey, there's nothing that Santa can't do.
I know. And I mean, hey, a helicopter will do until the reindeer are ready to go.
Doesn't matter what it is, he's going to get it done.
He'll get it done.
Big man always gets it done.
Yep.
Yeah, reindeer are still in training right now, but they'll be prepared by the big day. And so, yeah, helicopter just kind of in between those days. And we got clear skies out there. Santa's out there flying in the chopper. And a beautiful look at our waxing crescent moon from our Beach Island camera. You can see just a little slither of the moon out there. That's getting lower into the western sky. Temperatures already dipping into the 40s. We're at 47 and should see low temperatures by tonight drop into the 20s. So it is going to be a pretty cold start to our Friday. Tomorrow afternoon, we're seeing highs near 60. Should see a lot of sunshine tomorrow. Remember, it's Sunday. It's going to be our high impact day with heavy rain and wind. We have issued that first alert throughout the day Sunday.
All right, thanks, Riley. Stick with us. We have more news, weather, and sports coming up after a short break on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
On air and online.